Everyone. I want to give another weekly update. Now, this week is actually kind of special because I've got a couple other videos in the pipeline. So you've got today's, then in a couple days, I'll do another one. And then a couple days after that, I'll do another one. They're not all going to be updates on the tool itself, um, more meta information about how to deploy the tool and how to get help with the tool. Um, I'm starting to gear up for having people actually install it on their own systems, on your own system, perhaps. Um, if you have questions about that, be sure to check out the information in the video description. There's an email address down there. There's a link to set up a time to chat with me. Um, but in some of the videos coming this week, there'll be more self-service information. So you can actually download the tool onto your own system, play around with it without actually talking to me. That's what you want to do. Of course, if you do want to talk to me and you want my assistance or have questions about whether it'll work with your system or how it will work with your system, uh, I'm still here. All that information's down below. I would love to chat with you and make it happen. So today I have kinds of, well, I started the week planning to do lots of little things and ended the week doing a couple big things. So let me actually show you a little bit about my process and what I ended up working on this week. So hopefully that's big enough. Um, I'm using a tool called Linear, which is it's just like any other uh, task management tool. It's just a different one that I'm not using for other things, so I can keep things separate. Um, and you can see I got 5 things done this week. So I'm not going to show off the checkbox form control. You can go check out the demo, which is also linked below, and see that there's a checkbox. Uh, Somehow I missed that when I was building out the BizHub form. There are actually a couple other controls that I haven't implemented yet. Radio buttons aren't implemented. Images aren't quite implemented. I'll get to them in either next week or the week after is what I have planned. Um, we're now handling form arrangements and forms for groups, so I'll show that in just a minute here. Um, and I figured out what stored refs were. Turns out they're stored expressions, which, of course, that's one of the major parts of Cherwell. You can define an expression, save it off, and then reuse it throughout the platform. How I forgot that, I don't know. But thanks to Scott Veller for helping me figure out what that was and you know get through that. So now that's implemented, and I'll show that as well. Um, and then kind of the big icing on the cake is we have saved searches now. So let's actually switch over to the tool. And I'm actually demoing this in the demo environment. In past weeks, I've been demoing it on my local machine here. This is actually live. So if you go to archives-demo.thoughtcolony.com, again, link down below, um, you can actually see the same version of the tool that I've been demoing. And if you've gone to this site over the course of this past week, you might have seen some new things pop up as I've been building them. Uh, as I build things, they are just going out there. So whatever I end up doing tomorrow or later tonight, um, if I finish it, I'm just going to push it. I'm not waiting to batch things up for the demo. So next week's demo, you might actually see some things in that video that you've already seen on the demo site. So kind of an added bonus, added incentive to go check out the demo site and see the progress that I'm making. So of course we have search. I've already demoed that. I will get back to search and improve it a little bit more. I have some ideas on uh, uh, you know some improvements that it hasn't been getting much attention over the last couple of weeks. Um, but we'll start here with browse. Um, Now, all my demos have been on incident. Well, let's check out incident. So here's the same incident form that we've been looking at, or the incident grid, and here's the incident form now. And of course, now that I've zoomed in, it's pretty big. But you can see these pieces right here, resolution, response breached, and resolution breached. Those were using stored expressions. And in the last demo that I did with the incident form, uh, there was no value there. Now it's leveraging the stored expression, and it's showing that expression value right here on the BizOp form where it's supposed to be. But if we go back to browse, let's take a look at configuration item, which apparently has a bug. Okay, let's look at announcement. Okay, so it appears that I've broken something with viewing groups. I'll have to check that out. That's kind of awkward. I was hoping this would be an awesome demo. Um, as I've been going through each one of these business objects and making sure that the grid works and making sure that the form works. Um, Now, with saved searches, I was doing some work with the grid, so now that I think about it, it doesn't really surprise me that for whatever reason I can't click on change request and get to the grid. Sorry, not change request, configuration item and get to the grid because I probably wasn't thinking about how groups work. That's okay. We'll fix that. Probably, potentially, by the time you watch this video, this might already be fixed. So another incentive to go check out the demo site and see if I fix this. But let's talk about saved searches because this is what I just worked on. So saved searches in Cherwell, you go to a manager, and it's got multiple panes, and it's got the scopes on the left hand side, core, global, user, role, all that good stuff, and then you've got icons in the mainframe. Um, I didn't implement that, not for any particular reason, um, but I ended up implementing kind of a tree structure. So you still have the drop down where you can pick your business object. We'll start with incident, and then I'll show you a couple others. Um, and we can look at the global searches, the the core searches, um, specific user searches. Um, but let's look at some global ones. So let's look at all assigned incidents. And you can see there's the grid pulling up incidents. Um, you can't actually drill into them quite yet. There are a couple grids throughout the system that I haven't wired up quite yet to drill into the actual um, record itself, which will obviously in this case it'll show the BizOp form. And a couple other places I still have to figure out exactly what experience I want to have for that. Um, I want to keep it as similar as possible to what Cherwell does, but also think in terms of what is the most useful for especially the archival and auditing purposes that I expect is going to be the main use case for this. So we can go back to saved searches. Let's look at another one. So like all closed incidents. That's going to be a lot of incidents, and you notice it comes back pretty quick, right? I don't know if you could notice that because it came back really quick. Um, One of the things that I've noticed as I've been building this is it seems to be a lot peppier than Cherwell ever has been. Um, so I'm happy with that. That's pretty cool. Not something I was necessarily intending to have, but I'm glad it's there. It's a happy surprise. Let's look at something different. Let's look at like agreement. Sure. Expiring agreements. Okay. Well, that doesn't work. Have to figure out what's going on there. Um, let's look at. There's one in particular that I want to show because it highlights something that I'm doing that I don't think Cherwell does. So announcement. I don't know that you necessarily go look at the saved searches for announcement, but this I just happened across some interesting behavior, and thought it would be useful to show. So if I go to, I don't even remember what that was, all active announcements or something like that. I don't speak I don't know if this is Spanish or Portuguese. Um, but uh, yeah, for some reason the Spanish title is coming back. In some of the defs, some of the translations are just missing. Um, so rather than showing a blank or something that might potentially be wrong, um, I I go and find the basically any translation. I try as hard as I can to find a translation to show it on the screen so that you don't just end up with this, blank space. My guess is that this saved search is one that, no one really touches, and the content team at Cherwell didn't really care about once globalization happened, so it just never got updated. So there are a few defs in the system that exhibit behavior like this. They seem to be pretty infrequent, few and far between. Um, but again, I wanted to provide as good an experience as I could, even if it uh, deviated slightly from what Cherwell did, or was, a little more aggressive in trying to find the right data that you were actually looking for. Um, so yeah, that's the demo for this week. Obviously, a couple rough edges. I'll file some bugs after I finish recording this video. But like I said at the beginning, if you want to see this on your data, go ahead and shoot me an email or click the links down below, and we'll get you set up. If you have specific needs, specific features you're interested in seeing, um, let me know. Again, emails down below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Click the like button. That'll help bring this to a wider audience. The audience I'm looking at is all Cherwell users, right? So if you are in contact with other Cherwell customers, absolutely, I would love for you to share this video with them, um, because they're all in the same boat that you are, right? Um, but yeah, if you have ideas on features, on things you'd like to see, or if you try this out, again, keep an eye out for some of those videos coming later this week. If you try it out and run into some bugs, or on the demo site even, let me know. Let me know what you were trying to do. Let me know what you're looking to do. Let's make sure that this works for your use case, and continues to improve and continues to get better. That's honestly why I'm doing this is for you all. So if you continue to give the feedback that it's helping, and where specifically you need it to improve, that drives me to build a better product. Um, like I said in previous videos, I'm really excited to see where this goes, and to make this as good as it can be. So I'm going to close out the video because it's getting close to 15 minutes long. But I'll see you later this week.